Alright, so you've seen the ads claiming to offer the cheapest premium quality hosting, and the two names that constantly stand out are Hostinger and Namecheap. Both are affordable web hosting options, offer great value, and are big players in the market. But you don't need two hosting providers, so skip the research and let me pit Hostinger versus Namecheap to answer one question. What's the best affordable hosting provider? And hey, before we go too deep, if you're just looking to save money with Hostinger and Namecheap discounts, you'll find up-to-date links in the description. Never pay full price when a discount is a click away. Okay, let's get into it. We should start with pricing and plans. Hostinger has plans starting at just a few dollars a month. The coolest part is that you get a free website builder with your hosting plan, meaning you can use both the builder and WordPress together. They also use NVMe SSD storage, which makes things noticeably faster compared to regular SSDs. Namecheap, on the other hand, comes in even cheaper with their basic shared hosting plan. It's one of the lowest prices you'll find anywhere, and it's not just for one website, you can build 3. What a lot of similar options don't include is a free domain name, so it's really nice to see Namecheap offering that. But here's the catch. Namecheap uses standard SSD storage, not NVMe. It's still fast, but we'll see how that affects performance later on. Value-wise, these two really offer some of the best hosting plans on the market. Hostinger might be a bit more expensive, but it gives you better tech and more resources, while Namecheap focuses on lower pricing. If you only need 1 or 2 sites, Namecheap will be the cheaper option, but if you're planning multiple projects or looking for long-term value, Hostinger will serve you better. Quick reminder, if you decide to try either of these, use the discount links below or scan the QR code on screen to get the best price possible. Now, I mentioned the difference in tech these providers have, so let's talk performance comparison and see whether that difference really affects real-world results. After building the same website on both platforms and running speed tests, Hostinger consistently delivers faster load times. Namecheap still performs well, it's reliable for smaller or medium sites, but Hostinger has more power to support larger projects. And if you really need the best performance, Hostinger's Lightspeed optimized servers and NVMe drives really give you that edge. Also, something I really like is that Hostinger has a built-in speed test you can run anytime. And it even gives you advice on what to improve. Really useful for beginners. Next, both claim a 99.9% uptime guarantee, but Hostinger tends to hit that mark more consistently. Namecheap isn't bad, but you might occasionally notice short drops of around 1 or 2 minutes. And to be fair, having only this little downtime on such cheap shared hosting plans is actually really impressive. Some providers have your site down for days, and those aren't even the cheap ones. So yeah, massive kudos to both Hostinger and Namecheap. I also wanted to run a stress test, basically an army of bots that imitate real users and swarm the website for 10 minutes. Basically, we want all of them to fully reach our site without any HTTPS errors, and we also want this line to stay as stable as possible. That simply means the response times are more consistent. As for the results, well, you can see the comparison yourself. Both plans handled 50 virtual users without any real issues, though following the trend, Hostinger managed to deliver slightly better results. So, from the performance side, as long as we're talking about small to medium projects, both providers won't disappoint. But if you want the best performance overall, then Hostinger is the way to go. Now let's move to Namecheap versus Hostinger features and ease of use. These cheap shared hosting plans are mainly made for beginners, so they should be simple to use and include everything you need. And right out of the box, there's a major difference in controls and ease of use. You see, Namecheap runs on cPanel, meaning you'll have to manage most of your day-to-day tasks there. cPanel itself isn't bad, in fact, it might be the best management panel out there. However, do you spot the problem? It can be a bit much and easily confuse beginners rather than help them. Compare that to Hostinger's H-Panel. The H-Panel is much cleaner, showing only the most essential tools while offering handy extras like the speed test I mentioned earlier or WordPress troubleshooting. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong. They update it pretty often, sometimes moving things around, and it can feel a little slower at times. But overall, for a beginner, Hostinger with its H-Panel is definitely the better choice. When it comes to Hostinger and Namecheap features, they're not drastically different. Both give you what you need to launch a modern store. But Namecheap offers more business and marketing tools, even some AI ones. Hostinger, while it includes a few marketing tools, focuses more on stability, security, and ease of use. So if you're a beginner, Hostinger will have the most useful tools, while Namecheap is great for more advanced users or marketers. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps us keep making more reviews like this. Let's not forget about security and support. You're probably not a security expert, so you need strong protection right out of the box. And good support is non-negotiable. You don't want to be left alone when things hit the fan. Hostinger includes free SSL, DDoS protection, automatic weekly or daily backups, and real-time server monitoring. What I like even more is that Hostinger will notify you about any WordPress plugins that are outdated or have security issues, even going so far as to explain exactly why. It's a great way to learn more about security and web hosting for beginners. There's also something unique here. I haven't seen any other provider offer WordPress AI troubleshooting. Does it always work? Not always, but for small issues, it's an awesome tool. And the AI chatbot can even help with security-related questions. As for support options, Hostinger's team is available 24/7 via chat and email, and response times are usually just a few minutes. But I'd recommend trying out Cody, the AI assistant. It's surprisingly smart and not just another AI gimmick like some other providers use. Namecheap also has 24/7 support, but depending on when you reach out, you might have to wait a little longer. The agents are friendly, though the system itself feels a bit slower. It also includes AI tools, but these are focused more on marketing and SEO. For security, it offers a solid package that includes free SSL certificates, DDoS protection, and the Immunify 360 security plugin for higher tier plans. There's not a major difference here, to be fair. Hostinger just provides a bit more overall, but it also costs more than Namecheap, so yeah, you really can't go wrong with either of these hosting providers. In the end, Namecheap versus Hostinger, both are truly great hosting providers, but if you're starting your first website, I'd personally go with Hostinger. It's faster, easier to use, and still incredibly affordable. There are so many tools and features here that make your first hosting experience feel great. But if your main goal is to grab a cheap domain and basic hosting for smaller projects, Namecheap is still a solid pick. In fact, I was pleasantly surprised by how much it offers for such a low price, which gets even better with our discount link in the description. And that's it for today's Namecheap and Hostinger review. If you found this web hosting comparison helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. What's your contender for the best web hosting 2026 crown? Also, if you'd like to see a more detailed Namecheap review focused on performance or pricing, let me know. I'm trying to make these videos as useful for you as possible, so feedback is always welcome. Okay, enough for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.